Imagine death approaching, silent, inevitable. And in that final moment, the whole world is watching. How would you react? Would you scream, panic, or face it with the same greatness you carried through life? Today we dive deep into the final words and moments of history's greatest leaders. Not just to understand how they died, but to discover what their deaths reveal about courage, character, and the legacy they left behind. Get ready for a powerful, emotional, and transformative journey, because true leadership is revealed in the silence of the end. Our story begins with Socrates, the philosopher who questioned everything, even death itself. Sentenced to drink hemlock for corrupting the youth of Athens, he didn't run, didn't beg, didn't flinch. Surrounded by weeping disciples, he raised the cup calmly and said, "But now it is time to depart, I to die and you to live. Which of us goes through the better lot is known to no one but the gods." In his final moment, Socrates taught that the fear of death is merely fear of the unknown, and that true dignity lies in living and dying faithful to your principles. The lesson here is powerful. Even in our final minutes, it is possible to teach, inspire, and transform. Now we head to Rome. 44 BC, Julius Caesar, the most powerful man of his time, walked through the halls of the Senate. He knew tension filled the air, but didn't expect to be surrounded by his own allies. Blades pierced him from every side. And when he saw Brutus, the man he loved like a son, he didn't fight back. "E tu, Brutus." Those words cut deeper than any knife. Caesar teaches us that power may attract betrayal, but it also reveals who truly stands with us in the end. The lesson: trust is gold, and betrayal by someone you love may be the most painful death. Not of the body, but of the soul. We now walk into medieval France, where Joan of Arc, a young peasant girl, dared to lead armies and claimed she heard the voice of God, captured and condemned for heresy. She was tied to the stake in a public square, surrounded by crowds and flames. Her final words were cries of faith. "Jesus, Jesus, no fear, no begging, only devotion and conviction." Joan was burned, but her fire never died. Today, she is a saint, a symbol of courage and divine purpose. What do we learn from her? That when you believe with all your being, not even flames can silence you. The fire within you can light the way for centuries. We move forward to 1865, United States. President Abraham Lincoln, after guiding his country through civil war and ending slavery, went to Ford's Theater with his wife. In the middle of the play, a gunshot. Silence. Moments before, his wife had asked what he was thinking. "About our future together," he said. Lincoln had no time for a grand farewell. His final words were a whisper of love, and that's one of the most moving lessons. Even the greatest leaders carry, in the end, a deeply human heart. Lincoln's death shows us that legacy isn't just made of speeches. It is built in small acts, like choosing to love, even after war. And finally, we reach Martin Luther King Jr., the man of the dream. In 1968, he stood at the pulpit and declared, "I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land." The next day, he was assassinated. His words became prophecy. What's most striking is not just his vision, but the peace with which he spoke about his own death. King knew that fighting for justice comes with a price. Yet even in the face of danger, he stood firm. His death didn't silence his voice, it amplified his cry. The lesson: fear is no match for hope. These leaders had something in common. They lived with purpose and died with dignity. They faced the end as a continuation of their mission, and even in their last seconds, they taught us more than many do in a lifetime. But now, I ask you, if these were your final minute, what would you say? What legacy would you leave behind? Because death can come without warning, but the impact you leave is your choice, and it begins today, with every word, every act, every decision. Living with purpose is not about waiting for the end. It's about building the eternal with each passing day. If you felt the power of these stories, drop a comment. Which of these final words hit you the hardest? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk about what's gone, we speak of what can still be built, even in the face of the end.